Tonight, the ambush-style shooting of National Guard troops in Washington, D.C. has taken another tragic turn. One of those Guard members has died, the other still fighting for his life. President Trump announcing that 20-year-old Army Specialist Sarah Beckstrom died from her injuries on Thanksgiving. He called her an incredible person who was outstanding in every way. New images from overnight of law enforcement officers lining the streets for the transfer of her body. Beckstrom's former boyfriend spoke to CNN and said she had a huge heart and would do anything for anyone. The other wounded Guard member, a 24-year-old Andrew Wolf, remains hospitalized and is in critical condition. We're also learning more about the suspect in custody, a 29-year-old Afghan national. He arrived in the United States in 2021 on a resettlement program after working with the CIA in Afghanistan, helping American troops. President Trump, in the wake of the shooting, says the U.S. will, quote, permanently pause migration from all third world countries. He also says the U.S. will re-examine all green cards issued to people from what the administration calls 19 countries of concern. CNN's Betsy Klein joining us now live from Washington this morning. What is the latest on this investigation?
Well, Sarah, an interagency investigation is now underway to determine exactly how this horrific tragedy could have happened, while the Trump administration, meanwhile, is ramping up its aggressive immigration policies. We know that this suspect is an Afghan national who came to the United States in 2021. He applied for asylum in 2024, and it was granted under the Trump administration in April of this year. Now, we've also learned that the suspect worked with U.S. forces, including the CIA, starting in 2011. A U.S. official tells CNN that he was vetted by intelligence agencies and clean on all checks. The question now of his...
And people in my lifetime, that's not the first time we've heard a story like that someone worked with them. I want to note that she said dealing with 19 countries to verify if they should be, are they legit citizens. 19, I teach out of part of the 5 C's. 19 is chaos, people, in the gematria calculator. You guys have seen that before. But yeah, Trump's going to be on a rampage. So you can expect to see a lot of news footage on Afghans, Somalians, and anybody else who they deem necessary. And I am predicting a more heavier, vast, broad, if you will, footprint of National Guard. And eventually it will be the Army. I've been predicting this, and so far I've been accurate, because I believe I know their playbook, because God has showed me this in advance. It's a progression, and it's called gradualism. Now, I want to tie this in to the history, which is a current history. I've been saying the last few days that Dick Cheney, his death is the basis of this, because he and President Bush went after a certain person after 9/11. Now, Dick Cheney just died. I think it was December 3rd. Then they had his funeral on Joe Biden's birthday, November 20th. Remember, Joe Biden at the funeral, I showed you guys, of which I'll show you a clip. Joe Biden stumbled twice. And I was thinking, is there going to be an earthquake? Is somebody going to be, unalived? I had different thoughts out there. Certain things I can't say because I don't want to trigger the algorithm, but look at what happened. Is it coincidence that Joe Biden twice shook? Well, we just lost one National Guardsman, and one's still in critical condition, but that's 2. And I came away with the logic of that's Twin Towers. 2 National Guards, Twin Towers. And when you think about what happened in Hong Kong, the same day you had towers burn up like an inferno, similar to 9/11. I connected it all, just watch the videos. I did it all, I believe, yesterday. So I want to set this up for you. I want you to watch Joe Biden shake. I want you to watch him come into the cathedral. And as he comes into the cathedral, what I want you to understand is that he's with his wife. Did she let go his hand? Logically, when you think about the way he was stumbling and then he eventually put his hand on the church pew, something wasn't right. When I took care of my mother and grandmother, right, and like you take care of elderly people or someone who might be handicapped, you really don't let go of their arm if you know they have history of imbalance, right? When you have someone with physical issues or cognitive issues, whatever, you never let go of their hand because you know at some point there they could stumble and fall. Jill lets go of his hand and then twice. I just want you to understand how my logic goes. Now I want you to watch him stumble twice because I believe each stumble represents a person, his future past. Here it comes. One. Here comes the second one. Twice. Then he grabs the pew. Look, he grabs the pew. He's fainting. I believe this is staged. Just my humble opinion. I want to set this up for you. Now, let me show you the math on this, because I believe this is very interesting. We're talking January 20th of 2021 when Joe Biden became president. January 20th, 2021. And then we just lost a National Guardsman yesterday. See it there? January 20th, 2021, Joe Biden became president. And then November 27th, we just lost her. My condolences. 4444. Barack Obama's the 44th president. 441, 44 the other. Now, I've been sharing with you guys the last month plus how God's been speaking to me. So let me show you. Do I have it? Don't know if I have it. I want to show you. I thought I saved it. I might not have. But I literally got a revelation from the Lord yesterday. I don't have it here. But yesterday I looked at the clock and it said 444. Thought I'd throw that out there. All right, let's go a little bit further. Now, Pete Hegseth was ordered by President Trump to increase Washington, D.C. with 500 National Guards, right? 500 National Guard. So let's look at this. We have 500 more National Guard. And again, this is Pete Hegseth. So let me get you his picture and we'll go from there. Pete Hegseth, his birthday is 6/6. Department of War. Pete Hegseth, 6/6. Now from that point on, let's look at his literal birthday in relation to what I need to show you next. Oh, there it is right there. Forgot I had it. If you take 6/6 in relation to us losing a soldier yesterday, a National Guard person, Look at this, people. 6/6/2026. That's Pete Hegseth's next birthday. Yesterday we lost a National Guard, November 27th. The difference is 6/14. All I did was take Pete Hegseth's birthday, subtract it from yesterday when we lost a National Guard person, and it came out to 6/14. How does this happen? How does this happen? I call that a mathematical improbability. Now, if you take Trump's birthday and then subtract it from yesterday, Trump's birthday, 6/14/2026, next year. Yesterday, we lost an officer, November 27th. The difference is 6/24. What is 6/24? That's that movie, iPad Go 2, where nothing but disaster hits in the cartoon. Obama sweats a V in his head, the 22nd letter of the alphabet. After that, the American flag shreds into two, and everything behind him just disintegrates. The Antichrist comes, nothing but chaos. Is that coincidence? Now, I'm going to speak without speaking. I said everything began with Vice President Dick Cheney. He was the 46th Vice President. Biden's the 46th President. They're doing things methodically. Cheney dealt with this man back in the day. You know who that is. That's an iPad Go 2. That film has him in it. You know who that is. And that film was created on 6/24/2012. What are the odds? Now let's kind of put this together, because I really want you guys to see this here. I want you to check out this one video. I brought up Pete Hegseth. You know what? I don't have to bring him up. I already told you that he was told by Trump to bring in 500 National Guards. I don't need to show you that video. I did already. The video I do need to show you is this. I had showed in the video 2 weeks ago that the Dick Cheney funeral was at a certain cathedral, and I want to share that with you, because
2025.
that actual cathedral, I want to show you the date. And I was driving back home this morning, and I'm like, Holy Spirit, are you serious? The Holy Spirit says, I want you to take the date.
People suffering from tinnitus ignore it. And by the time
the Holy Spirit told me to take the date of the date that the cathedral was built. This is the cathedral where Dick Cheney, where they had his funeral at on the 20th of November, Joe Biden's birthday. The Holy Spirit, I was in the car, it blew my mind. He said, I want you to take that cathedral's date, like you did before, and look at it in relation to the shooting and also the lady who died and what day she died. Now watch this here, because this is powerful. This is powerful.
At Washington National Cathedral. Protestant Episcopal Cathedral. Interesting. People, this is mind-blowing. 9/29/1990 is when this building was completed. 35 years ago. Do you know who?
So on 9/29, that's when that cathedral was completed. Okay? Now, like I said, the day that the two National Guardsmen were shot at is the same day that they had the fire in Hong Kong. Towers, like Twin Towers, 9/11. Like I said, the two National Guard people, that's two towers to me. Just want to throw you out there. Now, what I want you to see is this. Hong Kong, these are the towers. And I want you to see how all this is, in my mind, how it's connected. The towers were completed on 3/6/83. So we're going to take 3/6/83 and look at it. (3/6/83). This is mind blowing. Take March 6th of 1990, the anniversary of those towers in Hong Kong being built, versus 9/27/1990. Now what I did, I just made the years the same. I made the years the same in terms of the reported date that the lady that they said she was also that she passed, subtracted from the day that the towers were completed, and it gave me 29 weeks. Now, why is that so crazy? The assailant who shot her, he's 29 years old. I know, right? That's him. Now I want to show you something else. January 26th, that's when Hong Kong was founded. So now we're going to take that date of January 26th, and we're going to subtract it from the day that she was shot. January 26, 2002, anniversary of Hong Kong becoming a nation, versus March 6 of 2002. March 6, anniversary of the towers being completed. Gives you 111, snake eyes. You guys know about snake eyes. Or the 111th day of the year was April 21st, the day that the Pope died. I believe they're speaking. Now, what I want you to know is that because something happened the day before Thanksgiving, could something happen on Christmas Eve? Okay. There was a extravaganza given by December 13, 2023, Jill Biden had a Christmas extravaganza. During that extravaganza, you saw that person. To me, that's a snake on the front. That's a snake on her chest. Eye, snout, ears, that's a snake. Ballerina. Then what comes out now, next is the lotus flower. See the lotus flower? That's Kamala, like Kamala Harris. And I'm going to show that to you, then we'll be done. You guys probably remember I did that video last year, so let me throw that at you. Watch this here. Now, at a point, they go into another room and you're going to see two dancers and they're going to gyrate their hips. When they gyrate their hips, I look at it as a bullet. Because once they gyrate their hips, the person is going to lay down like they got shot. Watch. See him do like this? Okay. Now, if something goes down, don't forget I told you that. Because when they gyrated their hips, what's above there is a picture of Abraham Lincoln. And remember last week I showed you that my Governor Pritzker, went to see Pope Leo. And he had a magazine with Abraham Lincoln on it. I want you to just remember all this that I taught you, because we're living in that time. Something could be going down again very soon. You know what happened to Abraham Lincoln? You know what happened to Kennedy. Something else is going to happen soon, but it's going to be fake. And we'll talk about it. God bless.